Hi, welcome to Yoga for Neck and Shoulders. So getting into all of those really tight places in the upper body today, especially if you've been doing lots of desk work. This is a really nice way to just release everything, open it up. So you'll want a couple of cushions today. We're going to start in this position and we'll be in this position for the whole time. So basically, you don't have to have the cushions, but it just feels really nice, I think, for the body to be supported in a cross-legged position, for once. And given that we'll be here for a while, actually making sure your lower body's comfortable is really important. So you might want a cushion underneath each knee, and you may want to sit on one as well. So grabbing whatever you need and getting yourself comfy. And then the only other thing you'll want is a strap. So we will be using the strap a lot. So some kind of strap or replacement would be great. So once you've got all of those bits ready, have your strap in front of you so it's easy to reach. And then you can bring the hands palm down onto the knees and allow your eyes to close. So we'll just take a couple of minutes at the beginning of our short little opening class today, just to sort of allow everything to come inward a little bit. If you've had a day that's been quite hectic, taking a few moments where all of the outside stresses and everything else that's been going on, all the busyness, kind of moves away just for a moment. So maybe beginning by noticing what your inhales and exhales are like. Where do they come in and out of the body? What parts of the body move for you? Where do you experience the breath as you breathe in and out? Is there any space for the breath to come a bit deeper into the body? So instead of being in the upper chest, is there space to take it into the lower chest? Feeling the lower ribs expanding. Maybe you notice your breath in the back of your body. Seeing if as you breathe in and out, if you can keep the shoulders still, so they're not the thing that's moving. The breath is actually coming further down into the body than the shoulders, and it's moving kind of more out to the sides, the front and the back, rather than, moving up and down. So seeing if you can experience the breath in that 3D nature. Taking a couple more breaths here, breathing in whatever way feels good, maybe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe breathing in and out through the nose, whatever you're feeling, whatever feels good today. And on your next inhale, allowing your eyes to open, we'll start by taking a few shoulder rolls. So as you inhale, the shoulders come up towards the ears, and as you exhale, they kind of move down and back. So almost drawing the shoulder blades together as they're moving down and back. So coming through that a few times, inhaling up to the ears, exhaling down and back. So maybe this is a movement that the shoulders haven't taken today, especially if you've been working at a desk, maybe they've been quite folded in. So noticing the sensations as you take these shoulder rolls. Does anywhere feel stiff and tight? And then moving on to take some arm circles. So the arms lift up, palms facing forward, reaching tall, and then circling them wide and down. So inhale, arms reach up, And then opening them wide, finding space across the chest. Coming through a few more times at your own pace. So inhaling to lift and exhaling, really getting a feeling of expansion, of opening across the chest as broad as you can. And then finding your way back to center, maybe taking a little shake through the shoulders. And then grabbing hold of your strap. So if you've got a strap with a metal buckle, I'd recommend that you definitely grab that in one end so you haven't got it flapping about. And then just wrapping the strap around your hand so that you've kind of got a good grip of that. The other hand, you're going to hold on, I would say a little wider than maybe your knees width, so definitely wider than shoulders width. So a couple of feet apart or a bit more. You can adjust it as we go if you feel like you need it a bit wider or a bit closer. And then holding that strap tight, so really pulling away with the hands to keep it taut. Inhaling, raising the arms up above the head. And taking a moment here to kind of breathe into that space in the front of the chest. And then exhale, lowering the hands down, keeping the strap taut, so using the shoulders to help lower the strap down nice and slow. Inhaling, back up again. And then as you exhale, this time bending the elbows and bringing the strap behind the body. So you'll be drawing the shoulder blades together to bring it behind the body. And this is where you might want to adjust the hands if you need them a bit wider or if you want them a bit closer. Inhaling, back up, keeping the strap taut. Exhaling, coming down in front. So we'll come through this a few times. So you're seeing if you can keep the strap nice and tight. And then having a little feel into where maybe you're experiencing tightness, which ones of these movements, maybe you're noticing sensations in the body, maybe more on one side than the other. Normally we have one shoulder that's a lot more troublesome than the other. And working really slowly with your breath, so whenever the strap's moving down, you're exhaling, and whenever it's moving up, you're inhaling. Coming through one more time. So these can be as big or as small a movement as you want. And you might find that if your shoulders are really, really tight, that it doesn't necessarily feel super smooth. And normally when the shoulders get really tight, we kind of lose the smoothness in movements. They can become a bit jolty. So exhaling and bringing the strap behind the back, shoulder blades draw together. Inhale, reaching up, staying with the shoulders up. Sorry, the hands up. And then exhaling, we'll come back down behind the back again and straightening out the right arm, so bending the left elbow and bringing the gaze over to the right side. And then bending the right elbow, straightening out the left, bringing the gaze over to the left. One more time, straightening out the right, gaze to the right. And then straightening out the left, gaze to the left. Bring the gaze back in front. We'll take a little move side to side. So almost as if you've got a towel that's like drying your body, like a kind of flossing motion really. And moving the arms side to side. And then inhale, arms up overhead. And lowering down. Inhaling back up overhead. Exhaling behind the body. Straightening out the right arm, and this time beginning to lower the right hand down to the ground. So the right hand comes down, maybe the left elbow lifts a little. Back to center. Straightening out the left side, left comes down, maybe the right lifts. And back to center, both arms bent. Inhale, up overhead, and exhale all the way down. And then you can let go of your strap for the moment, and you might want to take a really nice shake through the shoulders. A little shake out of the arms, of the hands. And then bringing a hand onto each knee. Inhaling, drawing wide and broad across the chest, sitting up tall. And then exhaling really slowly, beginning to tuck the chin down towards the chest. And it might be that you close your eyes here. If your neck's feeling really tight, then it might just be a very, very small movement. And then we're going to take some very, very slow rolls from side to side. So keeping the chin tucked towards the chest. So the chin stays down, very, very gently rolling over to the right. So this is going to be a very small movement. Back to center. And then over to the left. So chin staying tucked the whole time. Just kind of like a little mini arc from side to side. And back to center. We'll come through one more time. So you're kind of drawing a little arc with the chin over towards the right. Back to center. And then over towards the left. And back to center. Lifting the chin from the chest. And now taking the right ear to the right shoulder. Really nice and slow, opening up the left side of the neck. And you can take an open and close through the jaw here. So as we've sort of said before, the jaw is really connected to neck and shoulder tension. So opening the jaw nice and wide. And then closing it again. And then head comes back to center. This time left ear towards left shoulder. And you can take that open and close through the jaw again if that feels good. So you might notice that one side feels very different from the other. So having a little feel into what's going on here. And back to center, opening the eyes if you close them. We'll take a swap of the feet here, so whichever one was in front, pop it behind. And if you're starting to feel uncomfortable in this position and you want just a quick release, and you can bring the hands behind the body and give the feet a little shake out. We're going to finish with one last shoulder opening, so it's called cow face arms. If you also would like to take an opening with the hips, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we'll stay in the cross-legged position and we can just focus on the arms. So if you'd like to take the hip opener as well, then you can bring the feet out in front and bring the right foot across the left. And then if there's space, then you can allow that knee to kind of sit down so that the right foot comes behind. So if you get into this position and it automatically doesn't feel comfortable, or maybe even just getting in this position doesn't feel good, then come back to your cross legs. If you're feeling very open in the hips, then if you'd like to, you can also bend that left foot underneath so that the knees stack one on top of the other. So this is completely optional. This is a really intense, big opener on the hips. No need to feel like you have to stay here. So if you're in your cross legs, or if you've taken this sort of cow face leg position, we'll then come on to look at the arms. So inhale, broadening and opening through the chest, and then taking hold of your strap in your right hand, lifting your right arm up, bending the elbow, palm to the back of the body, and then left arm comes out to the side, palm facing backwards, bending the elbow, and then you can grab the other end of your strap. So what we're really looking for here is to open up this arm, open up this shoulder. So this elbow is kind of pointing up to the sky as best it can. So this is where using a strap is really helpful. Sometimes we can kind of get that bind with the finger, but what happens is the upper body closes in and we miss out on all the opening. So using the strap to help get that openness. I'll show you what that looks from the other side. So if you're using your strap and holding onto one end and the other. Of course, if you do have the bind with the fingers very easily, you're welcome to take that bind, but only if it keeps everything open at the front as well. So taking a couple more breaths in this position. And I really encourage you to try and get as much opening through the front of the body as you can, reaching up tall with that right elbow. And then to release, let go of the strap and having a little shake of the arms. If you did take that cross with the legs, then if you've taken the sort of the double cross, then you'll want to lean back and uncross the left leg. And then uncrossing the right, you can bring the hands behind the body, having a little shake. And you can do that anyway, even if you've taken a normal cross-leg position, just release the legs a little bit. If you'd like to take the hip opener on this side, then we're just going in the other way this time. So it will be the left foot coming over the right, and then bending the knees so the foot comes behind. So you might find that one side it felt comfortable to do this and the other it doesn't. So no pressure to take this if it doesn't feel good. And if you want to, you can bring that right knee and bend it as well. So if you're sitting in this position, you're sitting in between the feet, not on the feet. And grounding down through both hips. So if you're having to kind of lean up on one side, then just allow a leg to be straight or come back to cross legs. Taking hold of your strap when you're ready in your left hand this time. Left arm reaches up, bending the elbow, palm comes to the back of the body. Right hand reaches out to the side, palm to the back, bending the elbow, reaching behind, and you can grab hold of your strap. So see what it feels like on this side. Seeing if you can keep that left elbow reaching up, finding broadness across the chest. So the right shoulder is kind of drawing back as the left shoulder also is drawing back and the elbow draws up. So seeing if you can find as much openness as possible. Couple more breaths here. And then inhaling slowly to release, letting go of your strap. And then if you've taken this fold with the legs, then releasing the bottom leg and the top leg, hands behind the body, a little shake out with the legs. Maybe a little circle of the feet. And then finding your way into anything that feels comfortable for finishing today. So it might be back into that cross-leg position. You might like to lie down on your back. So whatever feels best, whatever feels good, getting yourself nice and supported with your cushions. And then a hand onto each knee like we did at the start, allowing the eyes to close. Taking a deep breath in, filling all of that area across the chest, the shoulders, the lower ribs, the side of the body, everything we've been opening today. Exhaling, deep sigh out through the mouth. And maybe one more time if that feels good. Big inhale. Deep sigh out. Taking a couple of moments at the end here to notice how your body might be feeling different now to at the beginning. Maybe you have awareness of areas that are feeling tight of what's going on in your body. And which of those stretches and postures helped you to feel into those areas the most? option to finish today with a little bit of self-massage if you like, or you can stay seated and just breathe into the new spaces that have been created. If you'd like to finish with a little bit of self-massage, we're just going to work down the side of the neck and shoulders. So starting on the right side, using your left hand, so coming across the body and pressing in on any areas on the side of the shoulder and neck that might feel a little tight. So thinking about this muscle here that can get really tight. And pressing into any area that might feel tight. And once you've pressed in, then also beginning to press down towards the tip of the shoulder. So just kind of an in and slightly down motion. As you do that, bringing your chin towards the left armpit. So you're coming in the opposite direction. And you begin to notice a little mini stretch in the side of the right neck. And coming back up to center. So you can kind of move up and down along that band of muscles. So you can move, a centimeter or an inch or whatever further down. So pressing in. Then a slight feeling of pressure down towards the tip of the shoulder. And then chin draws towards left armpit. So you're kind of pressing down and away in the opposite direction to what the chin is moving in to create that stretch in the side of the neck. And back to center. So finding a couple more spots, following the same idea, pressing in, drawing down and away, and then chin over to the opposite armpit. So this is something that I use a lot with my massage work, this technique here. And I use it a lot for self-massage as well. It's really, really helpful in creating some little micro releases in the soft tissues in the body. And when you're ready, you can come on to the other side. So this will be right hand coming up to left shoulder. And it's exactly the same kind of principle. So finding a little spot that might feel tight, pressing in, drawing down slightly. So the hand isn't really moving, it's just kind of pressing in and a feeling of drawing down towards the left shoulder. And then this time the chin comes across and down towards the right armpit. And back to center. So another way of looking at this can be that once you've pressed in and down, that you turn your head to the right and then you tuck the chin. So that's another way of doing it, if that sort of makes more sense in your body than the tucking to the armpit. And then you're raising the head back up, back to center, releasing the point, finding a new one. So this is particularly good if you notice that your neck and shoulders get very stiff, or if you've got limited range of movement when turning your head to one side or the other. So maybe having one more movement on this side, feeling into one more point where there's tightness or you want a bit of loosening. And then back up to center, little shake of the shoulders, noticing how maybe that feels different in there, how there's a little bit more lightness, a little bit more space to move. And maybe gently turning the head, looking one side over the left shoulder, back to center, And then over to the right. Back to center. Taking a few more moments to sit here in this place. If that feels good, you can carry on with your self-massage if that feels good. I hope you found a little bit more space, a little bit more looseness in your shoulders, your chest, your upper body today. And thank you for joining me. Namaste.